Hi, this is Chris, Video Game Dustlers, and you're listening to the VGDS podcast with Bones06,
Good evening.
Bandana Gamer,
Indubitably.
DizzyTheGamerJit,
Hashtag YouTube Mafia.
DanCavDragon,
How's it going out there?
and Die.
Gyakusatsu in the house. Konnichiwa. Ogenki desu ka, minasan, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thing I did not say that to butcher that name.
Hell yeah.
Okay, on to Sleeve It or Leave It. The first title is XCOM 2 for PS4. Bandana, would you sleeve it or leave it?
That, I'm actually... It's a game that impresses me, and I've actually read more about it than I've actually played it, because I don't think I've played it at all. But it has a really impressive backstory. Out of respect for what I've read, I'll say sleeve it.
Bones?
Well, I don't know. I'm not that type of person to really do PS4. There's something that's very enticing, though, about the cover to make me want to do it. So I'm going to say yes.
Dan?
Yeah, I've never been a huge fan of this XCOM series. I know a lot of people are into it, so I would not sleeve it. But that does look like it would make a good 3D sleeve. But overall, no.
Dizzy?
Yeah, I think I've talked about this on the podcast before. The PS4 is just too modern for me. I love sleeving the retro games more, so I would leave this one.
And Die?
I would definitely sleeve XCOM 2 because I love tactical or strategy type games. I like these type of militia games, so I'll definitely sleeve it.
Next title, Ice Hockey for the NES. I have to say, this is a... I should have said this for my game of the month, because I really enjoy this game. Bandana?
It's not Blades of Steel, so I'm not going to sleeve it.
Bones?
No, not going to sleeve it.
Dizzy?
Only if you put Wayne Gretzky on the front 3D pop. I butchered that name.
Only put his ankle, though, because if you look at where the cut is on the player, I want Wayne Gretzky's ankle 3D pop. And that's
Well, that could be him. That could be him right there.
Yeah, it could be. But that's not
It's got to be the gold variant.
I was going to say that's not the right color sock, I don't think. Dan?
Yeah, this game's super cheap and common, but I do like it. It's a lot of fun.
It is
so
fun.
I would sleeve it, but I do have to say that's probably the worst sleeve I've ever seen in terms of the cutout getting in the way of things. So, but yeah, it's a good game.
Die?
I would sleeve it. I like simplistic sports games, just easy to pick up. Definitely sleeve it.
Nice. Alright. Last title. Oh, not last title. There's one more after this one. Next title, Uniracers. Bones. Sleeve it or leave it?
I have to pass on this, I think.
Bandana?
I'm going to sleeve it mainly because I just miss that edgy 90s only on Nintendo logo that's in the corner. That was a thing. That's a part of the console wars right there, and edgy and 90s style for a game that is super cutesy.
Die?
I will leave this one. I'm not a big racing game unless it's like Mario Kart or maybe F-Zero, so I'll leave it.
Dizzy?
I'm gonna leave this one. I've played the game. I'm not too into it. You probably could just 3D pop the only for Nintendo and it looked good, but nah, I'm gonna leave that one.
Dan?
Dizzy's a smart man. I mean, that right there. Dizzy gets it.
Yeah.
Dizzy gets it.
Dan?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave this game too. I've seen this a million times out there. I just never doesn't look like a fun game to me. So I've never been compelled to pick it up. So
Wow,
definitely
strikeout. Last title. Now it's officially the last title. Zero Wing for the Mega Drive. Bandana?
No.
Bones?
Man, I don't know, dude. I was thinking, yeah, but the more I look at it now, I'm gonna pass.
Die.
I will leave it only because I know nothing about it, and I'll leave it.
Dizzy.
I would only sleeve it if you could make that parasite in the background glow under black light. If you can't do that, I'm gonna leave it.
What's that? Another variation of sleeve I have to come up with now?
Maybe.
Black
That's
black
next.
light. Dan.
Yeah, no, this is a great game. Actually, it's another shmup on the Genesis, which was really good. It's known in the U.S. as Hellfire. So if you've seen Hellfire, this is the same game. This game is notorious for having horrible translation, really bad English. This is where, I don't know if you ever heard of the all your base belongs to us. That's where this game comes from. So yeah, there's a lot of backstory. It's funny. So just for that, it's worth sleeping.
So you let the gaming historian at it again, Dan. Can school you on some games.
We need that.
All right. Next segment. Guess that box art, this is my wife. She actually picked these two titles. So, Bandana, any clue on the first image?
Moonraker?
No.
Yeah, I'm out.
Bones, you have any
Yeah.
guesses?
No guess for either of them. Sorry.
All right.
Da Vinci Code in space.
Yeah, that's a good one. Dan, any guesses?
This one looks familiar, but man,
I know why for you it looked familiar once I say the console.
It's something. Okay, yeah, I'll pass for now. But I don't.
Does
it
it-
looks. I feel like I've seen it before.
I haven't seen them at all. At least that I can even think of anything. Like, they don't look at all familiar.
Dizzy, you got a guess?
I was gonna say Buzz Aldrin 007 for the NES.
Die, you have a guess?
I have no guess at all on this one.
All right, so I'll give you the console, Sega Saturn, but it's a Japanese release.
Wait, did you just say Sega Saturn?
Yes, I did, sir.
Okay. Okay. Just want to make sure I hear that right. You know, I'm getting older.
It's a Japanese release.
It's a Dreamcast B. Dreamcast.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm still out.
Yeah, no guesses.
Dan?
No, that made it hard. That made it harder. I thought it was something newer than that. So now I'm completely lost on
It's
this.
worse off. You don't know.
I don't know. I guess I might leave this one behind.
Oh no. No.
Here's a
No.
question, Chris. Does anybody own it that you know?
I thought Dan would have done this, but maybe he
Oh
doesn't.
man.
Let's be fair. Dan probably owns it. It's Dan and he's forgot it. So
Is
He
it the
doesn't
one-
have it. It's gonna be on his pickup list next.
What'd you say,
Yeah,
Bones?
man.
there's that.
What'd you say, Bones?
I said, is it the Lawnmower Man?
No. All right, I'll give you the first letter of the word. It's a P.
We just turned this into a Wordle podcast.
I do this every time when nobody can guess. I try to give you hints.
Sega Saturn import starts with P.
Yes.
Wait, Dreamcast or Saturn?
Saturn.
It's Saturn. You didn't believe me when I said it was Dreamcast, did you?
Yes. I'm sorry. I trust my friends. How dare
you
me?
would be you the man.
I'm aware. I'm great at everything except this one thing.
All right, so I'll.
Wait. No. I'm not. I'm not letting go of this just yet.
So
It's Sega Saturn. Okay.
so
Oh.
what is the dude wearing? Obviously, that's a dude. What is he wearing?
Parachute.
No.
A spacesuit, right?
Yes.
It
So
starts with an S.
Pluto.
no. I'm just giving you like another hint to try to get to the name.
If I went wee, would that be accurate?
Yeah, actually it would.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on it now. I'm on it. I knew if I racked my brain about Sega Saturn stuff, because there's not that many Sega Saturn. I got it. I
Yep.
got it.
What
Go
is
ahead.
it? Let it go.
No, I want more people to squirm. I just want to know what it's like to feel like to be Chris.
All right, so
Dance, puppets, dance.
All right, I'll give you an. All right, Bandana just gave you a hint. He gave you sirens. It starts with a P.
Oh, is it? Police knots?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Police
Yes,
knots.
it is.
Ooh, nice.
And I was gonna say like astronaut, but he's
Wait,
wearing
what's it called?
Police knots.
Okay, never heard of that.
Well, it's a Japanese game.
It's the follow-up to Police Yes.
Police Academy, never heard of.
All right, next image. Dan, you should definitely know this one.
Yeah, this is related to the other one, I think. So.
All right, so this is a. I'll give you the console. It's a PC Engine game.
Ooh. You going across the seas for these.
More like my wife went across the seas for these. She's trying to trip you guys up.
Wives are awful. Just kidding.
Let me let your wife listen to this, Bandana.
You have to play the last podcast first, though, where I was really sweet about my amazing wife.
And then you trashed her?
Can we buy it
Trash
now?
her? I trashed the concept of all wives, so I trashed every wife. Not
Including
just
your own.
mine.
This game, he said it was PC Engine, but it did come to America on another system, and it is related to. It actually is related to Police Knots. I'm giving up too much away now.
Starts with an S. Any guesses, anybody?
Star Ocean.
No.
I keep thinking Snatcher, but that's
Yes.
for...
Yes, that's
oh,
it.
man.
Snatcher.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh.
Yep.
And is Hideo the link?
Yeah, it's the same team who did Police Knots and Snatcher. Yeah, and then yeah.
Which is Kojima. Like,
Yes.
That didn't stump me, Chris.
All right, Bones.
Okay, guys. Next segment of our podcast is Logo Sleeve of the Month. And this month is Our Guest Gamer Dies. And I'm not going to pronounce your last name and butcher it. You may pronounce it for me right here, Die.
Gyakusatsu.
There we go. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, I'll butcher that hardcore 6 Ways to the Sun. I'm not even going to do that for you. If anybody is interested in purchasing one of these sleeves, they can contact Chris at Video Game Dust Sleeve, and he can make you one up. Doesn't matter what you want it for, any system or console, he can do it. Di, we like to know, what game would you like to see people be putting in your logo sleeve? Doesn't matter the console.
Okay, and doesn't matter the console. I will say, might seem generic. I would have to say one of the Donkey Kong Country games, because that was one of my earlier games, and so I would say Donkey Kong Country, preferably 1 or 2.
All right.
Nice.
Nobody really says that very often.
No, I'm about to say, it's not like that's a normal thing people would say, so that's what we like to hear, what people would want to see in there.
All right, Dan.
Awesome.
All right, franchise of the month. This will be kind of like a continuation of what we talked about in the last podcast. So let's throw a plug to, if you haven't heard the last podcast, be sure to go back and listen to it, because we had a really good discussion about Mario Kart as a franchise. People had some really good insight into that, including a really good story by Bandana. But anyways, continuing on with that theme of driving games, the picture here is kind of small. You can click on it to make it bigger. But here are some Mario Kart wannabes, some titles that are driving games featuring their franchise characters. And my question basically is, besides Mario Kart, what driving games have you played? Which ones are good? Which ones are worth playing? Are there any other ones besides Mario Kart? And there might be some I didn't put on here. I didn't. There's so many driving games out there featuring franchise characters, so I probably missed some. So yeah, let's see what your thoughts on this. And again, we'll start on top with Bandana.
For moral reasons, I won't answer this question because this isn't a franchise. This is a genre.
Ah, okay.
No, just play.
Yeah.
I'm just.
Genre
yeah,
of the month.
the mascot kart racing genre is filled with a lot of, how to say, games that you find lacking or just clearly trying to imitate Mario. But I'm gonna go with two that I see on here that I really actually enjoyed, and that's Team Sonic Racing. I think the Sonic Racing games have actually done a pretty good job of distinguishing their mascot kart racer. And then the other one that I actually really enjoyed, it's actually the second game in the series, is Nickelodeon Kart Racer 2. The first one is really nearly just shovelware. It's very like, oh, we threw a little game, we kind of made it. But the second kart racer game, Nickelodeon Kart Racer 2, has a lot of fun and like really pushes you to unlock stuff. And I actually, for the price, I had a lot of fun with that game.
I'm writing it down for a possible podcast pickup. What system would that be for? Bandana that you play on?
It's on all of the modern. It's one of those that to me just feels naturally. You're naturally inclined to buy it on the Switch. But it's a Game Mills game, so it's on Xbox, it's on PlayStation, and it's on the Switch. And I will say, I've always wanted to play the Wacky Racer games. Wacky Races games, because that's a freaking amazing show. That's the best Hanna-Barbera cartoon by far.
Yeah, if I recall that game, I did play that game, and that was pretty decent, if I recall. It was like 20 years ago, but I think I remember that being okay. But, alright. Bones, have you played any of these Mario Kart wannabes?
I've played some. I have some of them in my collection. I don't mind Diddy Kong Racing. Actually, that's not a bad one. I don't see Hit and Run up there for The Simpsons, but that one's not actually all that bad. I didn't really like Road Rage. The Chocobo Racing, Final Fantasy one down there at the bottom, I have that one. That one's actually pretty decent. It's a little different. But I mean, as far as most of the other knockoffs that are on the list, of the Bomberman, South Park I didn't like, the Crash, the Jax, that one, they didn't do anything for me. I didn't play the Sonic one that you guys were talking about, but
what about that one car game that you were looking for PlayStation 1? Motor Tune?
That's called, it's Motor Tune Grand Prix. I love that game and I want to get it, but it went up to like 40 something bucks, so I kind of put it on the back burner. That's a knockoff game that was on PS1 towards, I think, the beginning. I know my buddy had it, and that's how I played it. And then I ended up with his copy, and then he got it and borrowed it off me later on and ruined it, and I now need to get another one. But there is a game on here that has me drawn in, and it's that one in the middle, Dan, that looks like it's got Chip and maybe Mickey's in the back. It's a Dreamcast.
Magical Racing Tour?
Yeah.
That looks pretty neat. That one I think I'd like to try, but any of the other ones on this list that are right here, nah. I don't really care about the SpongeBob one, the Pac-Man for the GameCube. I believe I have Wacky Races on the Dreamcast, and I don't like that one either. But yeah, that's pretty much my pick would be Diddy Kong I still like, the Chocobo one I still like, and Hit and Run I like, and Motor Tune Grand Prix.
All right. So you actually covered a few of those here, so that's good. All right, our guest Gamer Die. Sorry you weren't a part of the Mario Kart conversation, but have you played any of these ones?
Oh yeah. I definitely played Sonic All-Star Transform. That was a really fun one. I played that one on the Wii U. And I definitely played Diddy Kong Racing back on the N64. And honestly, back then, I did prefer it over the N64 Mario Kart. I did enjoy Jack X Racing. That was pretty fun because it was a mix of like Twisted Metal and a racing game, so that was pretty fun as well. And Simpsons Road Rage was fun as well. So, and let's see what I think that's pretty much it. I did play Chocobo Racing, and that was fun. I know the new one just came out, so I'll probably be playing that eventually. So, yeah, that's pretty much all the fun games. So,
All right. Dizzy, how about you? And you gave a nice overview of the Mario Kart franchise, but how about any of these?
Yeah, I've I actually bought the Nickelodeon kart racers for my daughter, and there's like a Hello Kitty racing game on the Switch as well. And once she started playing Mario Kart, like she never picked those games up again. Like even when I want to switch it up, like let's play this one, nah, she's not having it. So those games are not good, not as good as Mario Kart. You know, comparing it to Mario Kart, you're not gonna want to play any of those other Switch racing games. I didn't want to bring up this on the last podcast because we were having such a great conversation about Mario Kart racing, but Diddy Kong Racing is one game that I hear a lot of people say is actually better than the Mario Kart 64. Actually, Omega Ace has said that because you're able to fly airplanes in it. I think Bandana might have said that before too.
Bandana did not say that. How dare you?
Who did that?
Di-
Somebody said that on one of these podcasts.
Well, Di just said it right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that before though, that the Diddy Kong Racing is better than the 64. I don't agree. Just because I love the 64 version so much, I'd
The
say that's
actual
the
Bandana
better
Gamer
one.
agrees with you.
There you go. Hey, I heard somebody say it. I don't remember who. But the CTR Crash Team Racing is a good one on PlayStation 1. It's kind of a clone of the Mario Kart games. I like that one. And there's actually a game I don't see on here. Two games I don't see on here. One of them is Smurf for PlayStation 1. It's basically just racing around as the different Smurfs. A lot of people like to say that game Smurf, but I actually think it's Smurf. So, and the other one,
You sure it doesn't Smurfs?
it might actually. Some people
Smurf.
say that, but
You
I
are
don't agree.
smurfing out of your mind if you don't think that game is the Smurfy Smurf to the Smurf.
Exactly. That's what I say.
It's
They don't,
Smurferific.
Another game I don't see on here, but I do need to say you guys probably need to pick this up. This might be a Dan pickup. Is PlayStation 2 Cartoon Network Racing. I streamed that a while ago, and if you remember the late 90s Cartoon Network, if you like all those cartoons like Dexter's Lab, Cow and Chicken, Johnny Bravo, all of those and more are on that, and you get to hear the intro music played. You get to see the different characters. That one I really do like a lot. I didn't know how I was going to like it when I first started playing it, but it took me back. It was very nostalgic. With all the intro music playing, you seeing the different characters, it took me back to those days when I was a middle schooler, watching those cartoons. So that's a real good one if you like the old school Cartoon Network from back in the day. But besides that, the other games on here, I think South Park Rally I might have played back in the day. Don't remember too much about it. And the other games I don't know too much about either. But yeah, Smurf. So yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Wow. Okay, I wrote this down. I mean, way to sell more games to me, Dizzy. But yeah, so yeah, so definitely, we'll see if I can find some of these. Chris, besides Mario Kart, what have you played all of these?
I played South Park Rally, but I think I played it on PlayStation 1.
Yeah, it's on PS1.
Yeah, I think it's a better version on PlayStation 1 actually. Because I actually kind of like that one when I did have the chance to play it, which was a while ago. So that's probably like past the nostalgic point now. So, Diddy Kong, I've actually never played. I've heard some really good things, obviously, about it. J Love actually, believe it or not, she did a blooper on this a long time ago. She was doing a recording, and she actually pronounced the name wrong. It came out Titty Kong. Yeah. So we have this ongoing joke with, and if you ever see her around, go up to her and say Titty Kong and say I said that to you. So, and she'll start laughing. Believe me. So that's a little inside joke. But as for racing games, I feel that Mario Kart is always going to win, unfortunately.
Yep.
But it's the truth. So I mean, I played like Bones was saying, Simpsons Hit and Run. That was pretty fun. It was a good game. I don't know about Road Rage. I haven't played Road Rage, but yeah, I still can't see any of these games beating Mario Kart. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, the part of the point of this was to show the influence of how great Mario Kart has been in video gaming, and what all the different games that has spawned or inspired. And you wonder how many of these would have existed had Mario Kart not come along, you know. And no, I'm glad that some of you guys pointed out some things I didn't put on here, so that's great, and I'll definitely want to check out Smurfs and others.
Smurf it up.
Yeah, and then the only thing I would say is the most obscure game on here for me is this one at the bottom, Super Indie Karts. That was a game I got on the Ouya, and then it just features characters from a bunch of different little small indie games. But it is available on Steam, so Bandana with your new Steam Deck. Hopefully you can check this out sometime and see a very indie inspired Mario Kart game for this genre of the month, as you pointed out. So thank you. That's it.
All right.
Need that Titty Kong sleeve.
Actually, I made a Titty Kong sleeve, believe it or not.
Ooh.
That was, again, an ongoing joke. I had to take it to the next level, and that was the way of doing it, was making a Titty Kong sleeve.
Chris made a sleeve for something? I am shocked. Shocked, sir.
Nah, there's not much that doesn't get by. Bandana's full proof of that. Oh, man. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Die. So, this is the point where we get to know who you are, Die. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What type of games you're into, what you collect. Are you a big collector, or you just collect what you play? Type of things like that. And anything else you would like to tell us about yourself? You got the stage.
All right. Sounds good. Well, I pretty much started gaming around the 16-bit era with Super Nintendo and Genesis. And, of course, I had two older brothers that were into a lot of like gaming, anime and stuff, and He-Man, TMNT, stuff like that, 80s. So I grew up on that as well. And that just kind of branched out from me, keeping all the games that I ever had and becoming a collector. Same with a lot of action figures I used to have, and pretty much same with a lot of you guys. What about you, VGDS? Like, did you have any siblings that got you into it, or did you just somehow found out about it, like people from school and stuff, or whatever?
Into gaming?
Yeah.
Now my dad actually bought me an Atari 2600, and it was at a yard sale. He picked it up for me, and that kind of pushed me in, but it didn't really go through until gaming until the NES era.
Okay.
And that pretty much drove me into collecting.
All right. What about you, Dizzy?
Same like Chris was saying, the Atari 2600 I got back. We got it probably back in like 1992 when everybody else was playing OG NES. I was playing Atari 2600, and it was the 2600. We had the 7800 and we had the 5300. All three of those we were able to get in 92 cheap. People were probably throwing it away at that time. You know, and I didn't get the OG NES until later, maybe like in '95. And once I got the NES, you know, we kind of put that Atari away and never brought it back out. But that's where it started with the 2600 with me.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I pretty much I think my first game was either it had to be one of like either like Mario World or Donkey Kong Country or one of the few uh, you know, probably higher games that a lot of people played, but I played a few of the other ones like Maximum Carnage and stuff. But I mean, like I said, I just branched out to other things and stuff like that as well, you know. So like comics and manga and anime.
Um,
Mainly was just into Dragon Ball Z for the longest time, and then got into other stuff. So
Yeah,
I
that's what I was gonna ask, cause a lot of the other guys might not know, but Dai is kind of a lot younger than us. So to me, it was surprising to see a younger guy on OG NES games and stuff like that. So I kind of wanted to know that too. Like, what got you started in the old school NES games?
oh, okay. Well, you know, I have a big family, so I'm actually the youngest. So I have like a lot of siblings that are quite older and like 40s and whatnot. So they had the NES, and even my sister that lived in the house when I was younger, one of them, she had the NES, you know, the original NES with
Yeah.
TMNT, the arcade too, and of course the
Ooh,
original.
it's a good one.
Yeah, yeah. And so I got the hand-me-down systems. You know, I was always like a generation behind, for at least till probably the PS2. You know, granted the PS2 generation was a long generation for what it was, but for the most part, I was pretty much always a generation behind. So I was always like 5 to 6 years in the past of what everyone else was playing, and still to this day. I could buy the new stuff, but I'm always still like a few years behind of what most people are usually today. You know, I just can never get caught up. You know, but that's fine. I was like, you know, no rush. What about you, Bones, and other? You know, what were some of your first games and stuff?
Well, I can tell you flat out that I feel like when I play old games and it's a new game and it's good, I feel like I missed out playing that when I was younger. I don't feel like that when I play the newer games. So I'm gonna always stick with more retro than anything. But I would say
Mm-hmm.
the very first game that I remember playing the most, like that, no matter what, just was the first video game. Had to be Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers, and the Duck Hunt combo. When that came
Oh,
out, everybody had it. Everybody had it. And I didn't have it, so I remember just countless hours of sitting there playing Mario Brothers, Mario Brothers, Mario Brothers, bag of popcorn, soda, Mario Brothers. Like with
mm,
every neighbor. If the neighbor down two houses wasn't around, the neighbor across the street was around, or that neighbor right next door to them, or the neighbor on the other end of the block was home. There was literally like 7 or 8 people on the block that had it. I didn't have one, but that is probably the very first moment I remember playing the most of a game as a kid, and just that was it. I needed a Nintendo, and then just like you, a lot of us we get our consoles later on. I got my console right when Super Nintendo was coming out. That's when I got NES. So now everybody moved on, and now I'm starting NES, and that's
mm-hmm.
pretty much how my collecting's always gone.
Okay, yeah, I get that. What kind of like okay, my favorite genres for games are kind of like I used to really love JRPGs, I still do, but a lot of them are just too long. Like back in the day they were like 20 to 40 hours, I think, and now they're like 80 hours plus. So I'm more into fighters now and platformers now today than uh for like if we talk about modern, if I could go back I could pretty much play anything retro. What about you guys as a whole? Like what are some of your favorite genres?
And you
I'm
just
not really that picky when it comes to old games. I throw in shitty games and play them. I'll throw in Taboo or Othello. You know, if it's an old game, I can do that. I can't do that with new games though.
Mm-hmm.
True that. I'd say take it as a blessing, Di, that you were able to get those hand-me-downs because, especially as a YouTuber, you could jump on any game and start playing it. A lot of the younger guys your age, they're only going to be able to play PlayStation 4 and up or 360 and up. The fact that you actually know those games and played them, years ago,
Mhm.
that's a good thing. Whenever I look at your streams, I see you have NES carts in the back, a bunch of different carts in the back, and that's great. Like your channel is really really chill. The chatting every time you do a stream, there's a lot of gamer talk. There's a lot of talk about old school 90s stuff. So that's great that a younger kid your age is able to talk about that stuff, the same way we were able to talk about it.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Most definitely.
oh, I was just gonna jump in. So you also listed anime as one of your things. Like, so are you like an old school anime fan as well? And if so,
Oh,
like,
yes.
what are your like top 5 animes that you would suggest to an anime noob to watch?
Okay. So, okay, pretty much for anime. Let's get back to. I pretty much got onto DBZ, some Sailor Moon, pretty much back in the '90s when Toonami was released. So that's what originally got me back into it. Unlike pretty much kind of with gaming today, unless you were not watching Toonami, there really wasn't a way you could find this, at least in the states, I would say. But if you're like, depending on the person, like what kind of like movies do you watch, for example? That's what I would ask. What kind of movies are like books or games do you actually like story wise? I would say, and then I could definitely whip off 5 real quick.
All right, so video game genre wise, I am like you basically said my genre, like old school JRPGs that were 20 hours, and now to me,
Mhm.
like fighting games has been my general pickup, so I can do it for like 20 minutes. That's what you know about me.
Okay.
Go.
Okay, so if I already know you're into gaming, I'm gonna recommend there is a Dragon Quest anime, so that's one. There's a Final Fantasy anime, that's two. And pretty much there's a lot of gaming anime that a lot of people might not, even though they play the games, they might not know about the anime, and that could pretty much be a gateway. And a lot of them are good, so like especially if you never played the Persona ones, there's Persona 4 and 5 that came out. The visuals are pretty good. Those are quite modern, but they look pretty good and they follow the story really good. It's not like they derive from that. And so I definitely recommend those as well. So if you like JRPGs and stuff like that. But if you don't want any that are like gaming related, probably Psychopaths, Death Note, let's see, Akira. That's a movie. I actually just watched that recently myself. But let's see what else. Maybe Spirited Away. A lot of people really love that one, and
Oh
I do
yeah,
too. That was one of my
good one.
earlier movie ones. Yeah. So I mean, I could go on and on, but I recommend pretty much anything that I really like. And if you like longer forms, like if you like stuff like Game of Thrones and don't mind sitting down for like hours upon hours and days, and maybe it take you a month. Like you could watch some of like the older shonen, like Dragon Ball and even Naruto Shippuden up to like the end of Shippuden would be good. But I wouldn't recommend going past that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. There's it varies so much, and there's something for everyone. Like there's even like sports anime like Kaji no Impo, which is a boxing anime, or Eye Shield, which is football, and Inuzuka 11, which is sports, and heck, they even have like a swimming anime. So there's something for everyone out there. So
Yeah, my
yeah.
wife and my daughter are really getting into anime and manga right now. So a lot of that stuff you just mentioned, they have the DVD complete series and the Funko Pops.
Mhm.
The Naruto. I have like 3 or 4 games on the PlayStation 2. Have you played any of those games?
Oh, the Naruto ones.
Yeah, the
Naruto?
Naruto ones. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I bought majority of them. Some of them are good. Some standalone. I think it's the Uzumaki Chronicles. They have like their own standalone story, I mean, they're pretty much fun beat 'em up games because that's what they are, and they're not like fighting games. A couple of them are. They're pretty much where
Oh,
you
I
go
got
around.
you.
Yeah, which is cool. I mean, it adds to the story, especially. back then, if you wanted more to the story, you could definitely play those, and they're pretty fun. So, and I'd say even like a PS2, Shaman King 2. There's a tactical RPG that was on the PS2. Shaman King one was very good. So, a lot of the PS2 one, like, especially if you're a fan, they probably aren't great standalone if you're not a fan. But if you like the series, it adds that extra, icing to the top. So you definitely enjoy it. So.
Yeah, I gotta probably jump on those games with my wife. Then she's really into that. She has the complete series that she bought on DVD of the Naruto, and she watches that one all the time. The other day I was watching my wife. Well, I went in my daughter's room, and my wife and my daughter were watching that Demon Slayer, and that's one I've really heard a lot of good things about. That. How do you feel about the Demon Slayer?
Oh, okay. Well, I only watched the first 2 episodes maybe about a year ago. I really did like it. The animation was phenomenal, and I would say that even the music and stuff. And I definitely do want to get caught up on my anime back. Like with gaming, especially if you have multiple hobbies, you're definitely gonna get way behind, and it's hard to catch up. And you don't want to force it because then you're just kind of forcing it to say, "Oh, I watched it," but you kind of want to just take your time and watch it. But yeah, I definitely really enjoyed it, and I even downloaded the game, which I want to get a physical copy of the Demon Slayer game. It's just, well, I mean, it's like a year or two old now, and I played maybe about an hour of that, and that was it's a fighting game. It's kind of resemblance of the Storm, like the Ultimate Ninja Storm or the Storm games from Naruto. I think they're the same developer, which is CyberConnect 2. That was a fun game, but so I mean, there's definitely a game for Demon Slayer as well. So.
Damn, I did not know about that game. I probably got to check that one out. Well, do you know if it's on Switch?
Yeah, it is on Switch. It's pretty much on Switch, PS4, and PC. I don't know if it's on for the Xbox, but yeah, it is for Switch though. And I hear it plays pretty good. So
I gotta check that out with my wife and my daughter. Then, what about Tokyo Ghoul? You get into that?
Okay, I that's on my backlog list. I know what it's about, but I have not actually finished it, which I don't know why. It's only I think it's only 24 episodes if I'm not mistaken, so it wouldn't be that hard to sit down and just watch it. But yeah, I hear nothing but great things about that one. Of course, you have I think the anime is like Attack on Titan and Sword Art Online, which I think was the resurgence of anime in the States back in like 2012, 2013, around that time. That's when anime really had pretty much an explosion in popularity again, which was cool. But so.
Yeah, I really enjoy your streams. I whenever I can and whenever you're on, I pretty much jump in. But I know your channel. You've had your channel for a while, years before you started doing the streams. Like you've had old unboxings and stuff like that. Like, how did you start your channel up? And what's the name of your channel if anybody wants to look it up?
Oh, okay. Well, my channel right now is called Gyakusatsu, so pretty much the name. I'll leave a comment in the comment section when the episode goes live, the podcast. But I started back in actually 2010, 2010, and I was watching people like Pete Dorr, Happy Console Gamer, and stuff, and a bunch of old guys that don't even make videos anymore. That I used to talk to and game with and stuff, and Nostalgic Dan, stuff like that. I'm not sure if you heard of any of them, but I used to talk to a lot of people back then, and I never really had the technology, the good cameras to do anything with, and I did for a while, but I just kind of school at that time and getting into work and whatnot, so I just kind of stopped. What about you guys? What actually got you guys started, especially you, Dizzy, or anyone else that wants to answer? Because everyone's story is a little bit, quite a bit different, or people just like to create stuff. I know I like to even, just I don't know if gaming wasn't a thing. I think if YouTube was still a thing, I think I would try to create something. I don't know what it would be, but what about you guys? What got you started making YouTube stuff?
Like for me now, it's kind of like just a good outlet for me to be creative and funny, and I like the community. I enjoy making people happy. People tell me they come in my streams and they enjoy it, so it's really good. But like I talked about on this podcast before in the past, my channel came from just my daughter's channel, her wanting to make a YouTube channel. Well, what happened was I gave her a video camera when she was maybe 4 or 5, and one day, she'd always record stuff, and one day she told me like, I looked up my name on YouTube and I didn't find my channel, so I just explained to her, we gotta upload them and stuff like that. So, and she asked me what was technology, so I went to the dictionary and we read out what technology meant. So, for me, it started with my daughter's channel, and from there, my wife's like, "Hey, you got all these games, all these movies, you should do a channel," and it went from that to when my daughter's channel slowed down, I kind of started my channel. I kept doing streams on my channel just to keep the hype going for her channel. So that's where mine's came from. But I mean,
Right on.
yeah. What about your channel? Like, what do you enjoy doing the most on your channel? Because it's not just video game streams. It's a lot of chatting. It's a lot of reviewing different movies and stuff like that. What do you enjoy about your channel?
Well, when I first created the channel, it was all about gaming. That's all it was. Pretty much. Well, let's go back to like 2010, which it was a completely different channel. It was back then. It was just DJ Gamer 2012. But I started this one, I think, in 2012, and it was just still about gaming. I was going to review, do unboxings, kind of like what a lot of YouTubers already did. Streaming really wasn't a thing back then, but just kind of like I just started to stream, pretty much at the beginning of the year. I was like, I have the technology to do it now. I have the kind of the money, sometimes not as much time as I want to do it, but I just like, wanting to have the community, talk to people, and share the same interests. But when I was back in high school, which I kind of regret not doing, my freshman year they started the gamer club, and so I think this, playing games and just hanging out, but they would only do it once a month, so I'd always end up missing it, and I'll hang out with half the people afterwards. I always like having the community or community aspect, so like going to even card tournaments like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic, whatever, just having the community. And I feel like have streaming, you could have that even if you don't make it. I don't know, it's just fun to have a community, talk to people, share your interest and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the main gist of it. So
All right. One last
yeah,
question.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you speak Japanese?
Very little, like not as much as I would like to. Like, basically I could read hiragana and katakana, very few kanji, not even enough to get on the good, like, but I could hold a small conversation with someone,
All
but
right.
not enough to deal with. Yeah, not like fluent or level.
Cool. That's cool though.
Yeah.
Not many people can even do that.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, props
just
on
being
that.
a nerd.
All right. Let's
Yeah.
wrap up the podcast with game of the month. Bandana.
I'm gonna go with Street Fighter V. As my boy Dan Cav pointed out, I got a Steam Deck, and that's what I've been rocking on my Steam Deck, just to have Street Fighter V portable. It's been a blast, and it's a really good. It has finally, like, it turned into a really good game post launch. They really improved the crud out of that game.
Nice. Bones.
I'm gonna have to guarantee go with Motor Team Grand Prix. I can't bring that game up, which thank you for reminding me of that game, Chris.
You're welcome.
I
You're welcome.
appreciate that. That game is definitely going to be my pick. If you guys haven't played it, it's fun. I like it.
Die.
My game of the month would have to be Tekken 6. That's what I've been playing the most recently with. Yeah, Dead Level Podcast was the one that actually got me into it, and I'm glad he did. It's a very in-depth fighting game, and visually it looks stunning, and it's just an overall fun game, and fun to play with him and other people that want to play. So.
Dan.
I'll pick one of my newest pickups, and that is Sifu, a martial arts-based beat 'em up for the PlayStation 5. Yep.
Dizzy.
It's gonna be my latest pickup, which is Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Generations for the 360. I got it off of Chris James on his What Not stream, and I want to check it out.
And mine is Titty Kong. No, Diddy Kong. All right.
Yes.
All right. Di, thank you for coming on. It was a pleasure to get to know
Oh,
you.
thank you for having me.
Pleasure.
Thank you to the members. As always, don't blow, just leave. Later.
Leave it.
Peace.
See ya.
Rubber dub.
Yeah, I wouldn't sleeve that. Wouldn't sleeve that with your sleeve.
Hey, shut up.
I don't know what the fuck those are.
Bones.
There
Sound
is
check.
no bones.
Di.
Yes.
Dan.
Hello, hello, hello.
Dizzy.
Yep.
All right. Bandana, you can talk now.
Nobody puts bandana in a corner.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna check that.
I'm just gonna be serious and dark this entire podcast. like